Good morning, guys. I wanted to take a minute to share with you what I think is the biggest mistake I've ever made in my history doing youth ministry. It's about 6:30 in the morning right now. I'm sitting out on my back patio, drinking some coffee today. It's James Coffee. It might always be James Coffee. Enjoying the view. Well, normally I'd be facing that way, enjoying the view, but I figured I want you guys to see kind of what my view is like in the mornings, and I really enjoy it. Now, I've been doing youth outreach for over 20 years, and I've made a lot of mistakes in my time. I mean, a lot of mistakes, like how irresponsible and stupid I was back when I was 18, 19, 20-year old. I've just done some stupid stuff, and maybe I'll make another video at some point in the future telling some of those stories. But none of those things I think are the biggest mistake I ever made. The biggest mistake I ever made was simply this. I let relationships fade way too easy with the young guys I mentor. Now this happens really easily because life gets busy. We got a lot going on. It's easy just when a guy stops calling you that you just stop calling them. Sometimes I'd feel like the kid outgrew me. Like they'd start hanging out with another mentor and kind of a different group, and so I just felt like, okay, like they've moved on and onward and upward to better things. There were other times where I would notice a young guy start falling away, and I talked about it a little bit, but after a certain point, I just kind of felt like, okay, I'm just gonna let them go and wait until they come back to me, like prodigal son, something stupid like that. But those were all a major mistake on my part. I feel like I really messed up in how I handled some of those relationships. And I'll tell you why. The relationships that we're supposed to be building with these young people are supposed to be like family. They're supposed to be something much deeper and more meaningful than just a casual relationship. And they're not something that should be broken so easily. And this isn't a 50-50 relationship either. This isn't like, oh, I'll call you if you call me. We both put in equal effort, right? Like, we're the adult and they're the kids. We're the mentor and they're the students, in the relationship. We're the big brother, they're the little brother. Or we're like the father and mother and they're like the son and daughter. We should be putting in the greater effort. Also, a lot of these young people have really been hurt by father figures, mother figures, by authorities, parents in their lives. And so there's a wound there. There's a sensitivity there. I like to think of it like if someone just wailed off and punched you in the arm, man, it might hurt. But now you have a bruise there. It's not going to take someone punching you in the arm next time to cause the same amount of pain. Someone could just touch you there and you're going to jump and flinch. That's what it's like when you've been wounded. A lot of these kids have been abandoned by their fathers, promises broken by their parents. They've had people just leave. And so they feel abandoned again very easily. And that's something we have to be so sensitive to and so careful with. It's not a rational, reasonable thing. But if you're not calling them, reaching out to them, then it's easy for them to feel like you've abandoned them. And you could tell them, well, you're not calling me either, you're not reaching out to me, but that doesn't matter. That's not what it's about. It's about us loving these kids and pursuing them and doing whatever it takes to keep the relationships going. So there's some things recently that have brought this to my mind, made me think about it, and I think really realized that I really have made that mistake a lot in my years. It makes me sad. But now that I know, it's something that I hope I do better in moving forward. Don't let relationships go too easily. Something that's really worth fighting for, putting the effort in, remembering, reaching out, keep reaching out, keep reaching out. My pastor, Mark Hoffman, I think, has done a great job of this. He's been a really great example. I should have taken it as a better example. There's guys that, man, just 20 years later, they still know they can call him. And he's done a good job of keeping those doors open. So anyways, that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope it encourages you. Little vulnerability from me. Something I realize I haven't done good in. I want to do better. And I want to encourage you guys with that. We're trying to build family with these young people. So let's really, man, fight for those relationships. Let's fight for these sons and daughters. All right, guys. Peace.